Y'all get in here. We got film to look at. Look at my shirt. I showered and wore a shirt today, Tom. Thank you. Make all y'all people happy. Try to put my light up. It fell down on me. Then I readjusted it. And right at the last second, I realized it was not looking good. Anyhow, here we go. Man, I'm a handsome dude. What's up, everybody? Buccaneers Observer, Ralph Phillips here, blah, blah, blah. Let's look at some game film. And it just fell again. I probably shouldn't have hit the table. Y'all get in here. Hurry up. Hurry up. I ain't got all day. I ain't got all day. Hey, Molly, what's up? Me and Molly sitting here flirting. I am streaming. Am I not streaming? I should be streaming. Yes, I am streaming. Molly trolling me. All right, y'all, get in here. Come on. So, there's really little new. I couldn't find. Kate said yesterday that Elijah Simmons or Elijah Roberts is starting over Logan Hall. I don't think she said over Logan Hall specifically, but that's really the only person that he could start. He could start over. And I did not see that anywhere. But let me look on the game book and see if he was listed as a starter. Hurry up, everybody get in here. Yesterday, everybody had, a lot of people didn't get notifications. Yes, Elijah Roberts was listed as a starter Sunday. So was Logan Hall. So wait a minute, we had Logan Hall, Elijah Roberts, Vita Vea, Yaya, Anthony Nelson. So who, here I am. Whose spot did he take? Let me see. He might have. I didn't watch any press conferences. All I've been doing is watching game film. You know that, Molly. Finally got it all wrapped up today, except special teams. I didn't do special teams. I'm tired of looking at special teams. They're so ugly. Rampage, what's up, brother? You're first. Well, besides Molly. Okay. Logan Hall, Elijah Roberts. He was listed as a starter last week, too. How did I miss that? Against Detroit. Okay, San Francisco. Was he a starter against San Francisco? No, Greg Gaines. Okay, so he took Greg Gaines' spot. Elijah Roberts. I keep wanting to say Simmons. The two Elijahs. He took Greg Gaines' spot as a starter. Your Charlie Kirk book for the day? You read one a day? How many books does he have? I never really followed him a lot. Molly knew a lot more about him than I did. Sad though. Sad stuff. Horrible stuff, actually. We got some good stuff to look at though on game film, so I'm excited. Get in here. Get in here. Oh, she's doing great. I mean, she just she just bounced back. I mean, it was like a day after having the baby. She was just kind of like, okay, I'm good. Let's go to the mall or something, She's really recovered a lot faster this time. I guess after your third one, it's old hat. I don't know. But yeah, she's doing great. She's doing great. Baby's doing great too. That is the most calmest baby. Just very chill. Definitely sleeping a lot. Man, that's what newborns do, but She doesn't really cry that much. Very good baby. And then Meadow, our middle one, she's gonna be 3 in January. She's just really taken to that baby. You know, I was worried about her being jealous or upset, you know, because she's not getting all the attention anymore. But she's done a really good job. Very proud of them. Very, very happy with everybody. All right, so we got the offense done. We did the defense yesterday. Oh, there's some plays I wanted to go over with the defense. Didn't completely finish it up yesterday, so there's a few. I was talking to Molly about it afterwards, and I was like, you know, this is the most complete defensive game I've ever seen the Buccaneers play. There was only one mess up by a defensive player, and that was Servassier Dennis taking a bad angle and missing a tackle. And then, let me see, there was 2 more defensive series at the end of the fourth quarter. 1, 2, yeah. So I went ahead and watched them last night after I got off, and saw a few more things. But the biggest issue with our defense was the play calling. You know, other than that, we just really dominated. It was the most complete defensive game I've ever watched with the Buccaneers. But anyhow, we've got you can't let grandma best you. um, but there was a couple of different plays here that Servassier Dennis wasn't. Yeah, he's really a liability, and I hate to say it, but he is. So here is another play. This is just showing that their O-line really stinks. Left guard goes to help Vita, and he doesn't see Nelson stunning, and Nelson just walks right on through. And Yaya beats 71. So here's Yaya. Here's 71. So let's watch that real quick. I'm going to get everybody in here. Yesterday, a lot of people said they didn't get notifications that I got on, and it was because I think it's because I set it up, and then like 5 minutes later, I went on, and it just didn't have time to get in the system. So he beats 71. So today, I got everything set up a good half hour before. So, yeah, see, Yaya gets by. But Nelson goes... 70 goes this way. He puts a hand out right here. Nelson stunts around, and he's completely free. Kamara doesn't see him coming. 70 doesn't. 70 just, I don't know what 70's doing. They're going to come over here and triple team Vita, which they did quite a bit in this game by accident. And then, look at this. Nelson just runs right on through. For the sack. Yeah, their O-line did not play well at all, which greatly helped us. So here's a 4th and 3. Okay. This, if we would have stopped them here, then this would have been end of the game. This is their last offensive series. If we would have stopped them, then we could have just run the clock out. And this is a 4th and 3. I have no idea what Servassier Dennis is doing here. This is very strange. Look, he runs. He runs over here and then like just kind of stops. I don't know what he's doing. And then the quarterback runs out, boop, right where he's supposed to be at, and gets the first down. Boop. Servassier Dennis was supposed to stop this from happening, but for some reason, he just ran over here for I can't figure out why he did it. There's nobody to cover over there. It's not like there's a running back popping out in the flats or nothing. The only thing I could think of is Rattler's looking, or Show, whoever this is a Show, that he's looking this way, and Dennis is thinking, oh, I'm going to go over here and try to jump up and break up the pass. That's the only thing I could think of. And if that's what he's doing, he's stupid. But then right here, he goes, oh, crap. I just left this all open. And he runs out there and tries to stop him, but by then it's too late. First down. Boom. So then the defense has got to sit out there and play a little bit more. And if you notice, not a single person walks over or even acknowledges or looks at him. They're like, are you serious, dude? Look, Gaines is walking by, doesn't even look him in the face. He looks very frustrated. He's like, gosh, you serious? We had that. But I just don't get what Dennis was doing there. So 2 mistakes by this defense as far as players go, and both of them were Servassier Dennis so far. Okay, on this one, I have no idea what the Saints offense is doing. 71, the left tackle, he just lets Marquis Watts run right by him. It's weird. Quarterback runs over to where Braswell is and basically just gives him a straight shot. You know, Braswell doesn't even have to beat a block. He just runs straight at the quarterback who runs straight over to him. And then Show just basically throws a duck. It's like a soft lob, end over end. And if McCullum would have been paying attention, this would have been a pick 6. So we'll look at it here from the end zone. And Tom, what's up, man? Do you notice, Tom? Hold on. Tom, this was for you. I showered, and I'm wearing a Tampa Bay shirt. Yeah. We're just wrapping up some of the defensive plays from yesterday. I'm waiting for people to get in here. We got offense to go over. I did the whole offense today, so I'm going to force y'all to watch it. Okay. So So 71, this is just, I don't know if it's a brain fart or if it's this is weird. It's just a stupid play. I mean, it looks designed. Okay, you can see Show is signaling something over here. That's eventually where he ends up throwing it. But you can see the center. He looks frustrated. Watch what he does with his hand, his left hand here. Look, he's like, and I don't know what that signal is. Show didn't see it, so I don't know if it was for Show or Shuck or whatever his name is. And so I'm thinking it's for these guys, and he's telling them crash down, right? And that's what they do, which leaves 58, just a straight shot. Look at this. Nobody comes. And Shoke, whatever the name is, he just runs right over here. And 43 Braswell just, it's really stupid. Look, Braswell's right there. He has to throw it. And he throws this wobbly duck. Look at this thing. It's almost end over end. It's way behind the receiver. And you can see McCullum's right there, but he didn't see it being thrown. We'll look at it from the end zone angle. And you can see if McCullum would have been paying attention to what's going on here, he would have had a pick 6. Where's he at? Right here. Right here. See, he's not even looking. He's looking at the receiver. The ball's already in there. Now, the ball gets caught right. Let me see. The ball ends up, there's the ball. It's behind the receiver. So if McCullum would have realized what was going on, followed the ball, and come this way, he would have been right there to catch that ball. And that would have been a pick 6. There's nobody anywhere near him. But I don't know what that play was that the Saints called there. They had a lot of that in this game where I was just like, what are they doing? Okay. Here's another one. Here is another one. This one, again, just bad blocking scheme. They try to block Braswell with this running back here. It's 24. I'm not sure who that is. Should have been a false start right here. He false started. But he blocks down. And look, the running back you got a running back trying to block Braswell. I mean, granted, Braswell may not be all that, but good grief. And look at that head start he gets. He's got a 5-yard head start, and he just goes right around him. He tries to cut block him, too. This is what happens when you don't cut block right. And then Braswell, he should have got a tripping penalty here. He sticks his legs out and tries to trip. Actually, I think he does now. So anyhow. It was just bad, really bad play calling by the Saints. I don't know what a lot of their stuff was. Oh. And then check this out. Okay, this is on that play. This is 24. This is the guy that failed to block. This is the running back right here, I think. Right? He failed to block. He missed the cut block, right? So he was a failure there. And then he goes out here and watch him avoid blocking, right? He sees the running backs running, and he turns and he sees these guys coming, and he actually watch, he makes himself skinny and goes in between them. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, he didn't even try to block. He actually avoided contact. What is going on with this team, man? So here he is. Pretty sure this is him. Okay, bad cut block right there. He gets up, he runs out, and then whoop, avoids the block there. I mean, is he just scared to block people? This is some Devin White looking stuff right here. Just whoop, no thank you. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the Saints, but it ain't good. All right. And here we go. This is the last thing I wanted to show you. This is at the end of the game. There's about 2 or 3 more plays left. Look what we got here. Look. That's a Buccaneers fan. And he's wearing a Jamel Dean jersey. I have never seen anybody wear a Jamel Dean jersey. And he is fronting it. Now there's a guy wearing a Mayfield jersey here. And there were 2 girls that were sitting in this section too that I saw when there was a pass over here, and they stood up. They looked like they were wearing Buccaneer stuff too. But that's cool, man. I always like to see the fans at away stadiums, man. A Jamel Dean jersey. I ain't never seen that before. That's cool. Anyhow, so that wraps it up for the defense. Y'all ready to look at some offense? Okay, now I was really excited about this in a morbid way. I was like, I really want to look at this offense and figure out what's going on, because we've had 2 weeks of really bad, offense. Now, the Lions game, I'm telling you, that was just really good defensive scheme in there. Really good. But at the same time, we played very vanilla, right? I remember me talking about that. I was like, it's really weird. We didn't do any razzle dazzle. Mayfield didn't run, but Mayfield didn't run because they were spying him. And every time he stepped outside the pocket, bam, they were right there. So I was like, man, did they do the same thing? Or is this the blueprint, right? Keep Baker in the pocket. Pressure him, all that good stuff. So I was all excited looking at this. And I'm here to tell you, Baker does not look hurt to me. And now, he could be injured somewhere that you can't see, or he's hiding it really well, but I don't see him limping or, adjusting his weight, to take a load off one side or the other. His mechanics look good and everything. And he played pretty good in this game. it looked like he had some overthrown passes or some bad passes, but it really wasn't. It was other people's fault. So we'll get into that. But I'm going to sum it up. I think we are. I think we were tired. You know, we went to Detroit. We flew to Detroit on a Monday night. We got beat up there in Detroit. And I don't think we really game planned hard for that game. And I don't think we game planned hard for this one either. I think we were dead tired. We played tired. And our offensive line did not play good. And it wasn't, they got beat, ain't a doubt about that. But, you know, like Tristan Wirfs had a horrible game. But it was really his technique. You know, he was just playing bad. We'll look at it. But we, again, played a very vanilla offense. We didn't do any razzle-dazzle, none. And Baker never ran. And he could have. So I think, here, this is just my opinion. I think we decided going into last week that we were just going to coast into the bye. We didn't want to show our hand with what we got later, because we were doing some great stuff at the beginning of the year. And the past 2 weeks offensively, we've just kind of just very flat. And I think it's kind of by design. I think we want to come out swinging after the bye. And I think we don't want people to know what we got. You know, I think we want people to kind of write us off a little bit. But Wirfs played bad technique-wise. When his technique was good, he dominated. We'll look at that. Barton's having a rough year, man. He's having his sophomore slump. But we definitely looked tired and out of sync on the offense. They didn't beat us as much as we were just off. We're just off. We looked tired. We came out great. You know, the first couple series, we looked sharp on, you know, there were a few mistakes here and there, but then after that, it would just, as the game kept going on, we just looked more tired and more tired and more tired. But the good thing of it is it's all good. There's no glaring issue that I see. You know, there's nothing that I don't see where I'm like, oh my gosh, we've got serious problems, you know. But like I said, I looked and I just didn't see any issue with Baker whatsoever. As a matter of fact, he had a pretty good game, I think. So anyhow, who else here? Blake Cole, what's up, man? Be Cole. The Saints rookie left tackle, yeah, he had a horrible, horrible day. He's not that good. Hillman 70, the left guard. Oof. Trade for Jackson Powers Johnson. We wanted him, didn't we? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Barton. You know, he played good. He switched over to left tackle, played one good game, and then, you know, kind of had a rough go of it after that. And then they switched him back to center. And ever since, he's just kind of, I don't know, just kind of not played well. It's like, it's almost like his confidence is down or something. Yeah, our red zone. We're going to go through all that here in a second. Okay, I was talking about Mayfield had a pretty good game. Here is a pass that he didn't, and this was the first series. He's got Egbuke running a quick out right here. And he's wide open. Boop. Because this dummy gives him 5 yards of cushion. He thinks he's Jamel Dean. And, you know, Baker zings it, and it's behind Egbuke. It actually goes, I had to, right here, I was like, why didn't Igbuke stretch out for that? It looks like he could have caught it, right? Like you can see it right here, but it doesn't. It actually goes behind his helmet. You'll see it on the end zone angle here. He just Mayfield this is just a bad pass. It's just off target. Look at this. See that? Look, it goes behind his helmet. There's the ball. You can see it. Baker Mayfield threw it behind him. It's just a bad pass. But I think it's one of the only ones Baker had. All right, here's 3rd and 15. 3rd and 15. Now they blitz us. And this is a great blitz. It really gets us good. Otten is wide open here. But it's 3rd and 15. You got to get way out here. So throwing here ain't going to really do you any good. And plus, Baker is getting crushed. But check this blitz out. And look how it happens. Now, we had this issue all game where we just didn't, our blocking schemes were not good. I don't know if it's Baker calling protection bad or whatever, but this is bad. It's actually kind of good on the Saints' part. So 21's coming in. Okay, let's break this down. Here's what happens. 21 comes in the B gap here. 44 comes into the other B gap. So it's 2 B gap blitzes. They both come in like this. Now, both tackles know that White is back here, right? And normally you block inside out, right? If there's a guy coming in here, you block this guy and you let this guy go on the outside. But because they know he's here, they can take this guy, right? They can take this guy and not worry about the inside gap there. The problem is there's only one Rachaad White, and both tackles are obviously thinking this. They're like, okay. And you can see 21 comes up. 21 makes it obvious he's going to blitz, right? Well, Rachaad White looks over at him. You see, Rachaad comes back. He's scanning. He's like, okay, who's going to blitz? Who's going to blitz? And he sees 21 coming, and he locks in on 21 right there. He looks over here, and he locks in on 21, right? Never takes his eyes off of him. Boom. What that does, it makes him not see 44 coming in the blitz. See, he initially sees 44 walking up. See, he's looking right there. He's looking at 44. But then 44 stops. He knows White's looking at him. So 44 stops right here and starts barking orders. He's probably not saying a dang thing. But then he looks up and he watches White lock in on 21 over here. See, he's not moving. And as soon as White looks over here, then he creeps forward. It's really good by them. And he stays low so White doesn't see him. Anyhow, White goes and blocks 21, leaving 44 wide open. But Wirfs thinks that, well, White's back here. He's got 44. Not so. Boop. Long drawn out explanation for we just messed up our blocking scheme right there. And there was a lot of that during this game. Some weird blocking schemes that I didn't agree with. Kind of like what the Saints offense did. Not as bad though. Now this one, Molly's going to love this one because we talk about this all the time, especially with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston would double pump, sometimes triple pump to the person he was going to throw to. And it's the dumbest thing in the world because if you pump to the guy you're going to throw to, you draw everybody to him to begin with. And then you throw it to him and there's guys going there. Well, that's what Mayfield does here. Let me see. He throws it to, was this White? He does it to White. But he double pumps him first. And when he double pumps him, right here. You can see everybody starts going towards him, right? And then he throws it to White, and everybody's already running towards him. I pointed that one out just for Molly because I know she loves that mess. She's like, why would you do that? Now, it would have been so much better if he would have thrown to the outside receiver here because when he did double pump, when he fake pumped here, this guy released this receiver. So you can see it. So right there, he releases that receiver because he's like, oh, I'm going to go there. And this guy's open. He should have thrown it to him. So that one was for Molly. Yeah, we don't have anybody else. We're hurting for offensive linemen. I was looking at who we got. I was like, oh my gosh, we are doing bad. You know, we brought Dan Feeney up. We got Graham Barton, Ben Bredesen, Elijah Klein, Charlie Heck. We got Benjamin Chukwuwama, but he's a tackle. I mean, we've got one backup tackle. We've got one on the practice squad too. What's his name? We got Lorenz Met. Mike Jordan is back on the practice squad, which I didn't think we could do that. I thought you could only, I don't know the practice squad stuff anymore. I thought you could only bring him up 3 times. We've already done that with him. And then we've got Tyler McClellan. Yeah. So we've got 3 offensive linemen on the practice squad, 2 tackles and a guard. Other than that, man, we thin. We are thin. Now, apparently Dan Feeney can play center. But Feeney had a rough game a little bit too. Okay, here's an illegal or contact, uncalled penalty. This is a design naked boot to the right with levels, and it's blown up by 96. I wish if Otten would have shouldered him here, I think it's this guy, yeah, then I think it would have, this play would have turned out completely different. But Otten gets, I think it's Otten, let me see. Yeah, watch this right here. Otten gets clobbered. Okay, for one, Otten avoids the contact here. I don't think he should have done that. I assume this is what he was told to do, but I think he should have just knocked him a little bit. But this guy doesn't fall for the play action, and he goes straight for the quarterback. And therefore, Mayfield has to dump it off. A naked boot didn't work out too good. But watch Otten here. This guy, he just comes right in. This is illegal contact. You can't do this. Boom, right there. Puts a shoulder into him and then trips him with his knee right here. And Otten falls down. Or stumbles anyhow. The illegal contact, uncalled penalty. They did a couple of those in this game. I remember we got called, Jamel Dean got called for that when the guy ran over top of him. We got defenders forearming our guys in the back. They're not getting called. Cameron Jordan's faked out here. He doesn't know what's going on. I had to show this just because of Cameron Jordan. Come on, Cam. Boop. See that? He went after Baker. Right there. Baker ain't got the ball, dummy. He's over here. He's the one with the ball. Love it. We actually surprisingly ran very well the first couple of offensive series until we got down to the goal line, which we're getting ready to get up to. All right, this is a 1st and 10, second quarter, 12:24. We've been blocking really well, especially in the run game, but in this one, Heck misses 20, Pete Werner, and Werner's ends up making the tackle. So Charlie Heck, I think he pulls. I think this is 20 here. Can't remember. It's actually a good block avoidance. Yeah. See, 77. He's coming. He's looking. He sees the guy. Guy goes real low right there. And Heck just can't get anything on him. He actually gets bumped off. Boop. Dude makes a good tackle there. At this point, that was the first missed block we had had. We had been doing really good up until this point. Our run game really looked good. This is a nice play design. Like I said, it did not look like we really game planned a whole lot, like we're really holding our cards to our vest. But we had some nice little play designs. This is a nice one. It's levels on a cover 3. The go route ends up drawing the safety, and the underneath route draws the flat defender. It opens up the middle. Kool-Aid McKenzie was penalized for holding 17. Shepard here. Let me see. Right here. Yeah. He does. He holds him. Right here. Right there. You can't really see it, but you can see by the way 17 gets yanked right there. And then the penalty, the flag comes flying in. But this is a nice little play design. I like it. It's not really a boot, but you got your levels here, and he's wide open because this seam route just goes straight, or go route, it just pulls the safety, and then this guy holds the flat defender, and he's able to just boop right in the middle. Nice little play design. Good play call on the right defense. Okay, here's 3rd and 8. This is the second quarter, 11 minutes ago. This is the first time we really fail in pass protection. Wirfs gets pushed back by Chase, and Feeney is eventually beat by 90, Brian Beese. But it's like 3.12 seconds. So if you can hold a block for 3 seconds, I don't really call it getting beat. I'll mark it down as getting beat, but I always put an asterisk on it. I'm like, he held it for 3 seconds. So the thing I liked about this play was Tez Johnson at the end. He gets a little chippy. I like it. So 78 just gets totally pushed back. Look at that. That's just Chase Young's got some power. And you can see Feeney gets beat here. Now, this is the first time in this game that our pass protection got beat. And it's 11 minutes in the second quarter. So he gets beat here, but like I said, he held him for 3 seconds. And Baker's able to get the ball off. But watch Tez. Tez turns around. Emike's got the ball. So Tez turns around and blocks this guy. And he lays a good hit on him, but Tez is so small. Booyah! That doesn't really do much. So this guy smacks him in the head like a little kid. And Tez gets up and shoves him. And then walks away. I like that. I like it. I like it when they get chippy. I want to see our wide receivers with a little oomph in them. This is a great run by Tucker. I think he gets skinny on this one. Yeah. This is the one where he gets real skinny. But Egbuke gets his clock rung here. He goes out to block this guy. That guy is having nothing of it, man. He just, wham! Bouquet. Bam. Oof. But he occupies that guy so the guy couldn't make the tackle. The guy was too preoccupied beating up on Egbuke there. This is a really nice run by Tucker. He gets real skinny here. Good blocking, good blocking. He just squeezes up right up in there. Nice little run. Keeps his feet underneath him. But yeah, watch Egbuke here. I don't know. This guy just wanted to hit Egbuke. That's all it was. He was like, wham. Oof. So at this point, we're dominating offensively. But then, here we go. This is the first of 5 stuffs at the goal line. Now, what happens on this one is, and this is, we do gap run for all 5 of them, and we just keep messing up after messing up. On this one, Otten slips, and he's the lead blocker. He's getting ready to cut, and he slips, so he's not able to get any leverage. 62. All right. We'll go one at a time. All right, here's Otten. He leads, comes this way, and slips. Right, so he cuts right here. Watch his foot. It slips. Whoop. So then he brings up his other foot, and he's off balance. He goes in, leading right here, bing, and he just can't get any leverage. There's no push whatsoever. And then Tucker runs right behind him. Now, the issue I have with these running backs, a lot of this was their fault too. They're to blame. Watch, he'll put his head down, right there, and he just runs forward, just plows forward. If he would have just cut to the right a little bit, there's a little gap, I think he would have made it. But he thought he could push, and he wasn't able to. On this one, Bredesen bodies his guy, man. He just slams this dude to the ground. Just boom, and then pancakes him. Look, he puts his hand up in the air and jumps on him. Oh, I thought he jumped on him. I thought he pancaked him. And also, Graham Barton tosses 93 and then pancakes him. You can see him laying on top of him right there. Let's watch Graham Barton on 93. Ready. Yeah, good. It's almost a hip toss, but not really. And then boom, pancake. Face to face. And it just sucks that you got 2 dominant offensive linemen on this play, and you can't do anything with it. You end up running right into the back of your guys trying to push forward when this has all been collapsed right here. You know, I really do think if he would have just turned a little bit right here, that would have been a touchdown. Okay, this is the second of 5. 68, Bredesen, he slips right away. And last time it was Bredesen and Barton did great. This time they both mess up. Bredesen, you'll see he slips right away. Right on the snap. Right there. See his foot? Right there. He just slips. Can't get no leverage. He falls down. White sees it, and unfortunately, he goes forward and then tries to go sideways. He just hesitates just a little bit. If anything, dive. We don't see dives anymore. But I think he thought he could maybe get in here. But then again, right here, see, he ducks his head and then just tries to plow his way through. Can't do it. Can't do it. So Barton right here got beat by 93. Last time he threw 93 to the ground and pancaked him. This time he gets the bad end of the stick on that one. This one, Egbuke is absolutely useless. I don't even know what he's trying to do here. He goes out and kind of stands in front of this guy and then just gets pushed over right here. I don't know what he's doing. He just gets knocked down. It's totally useless. Don't know what's going on there. All right. Okay, so here we are, 3 of 5. This one's aggravating. This one's on Charlie Heck. You can see this Heck and 90, they go at it briefly. And then Heck's holding him up. See, look, Heck's holding him up. Then they're both just watching the play happen. Heck's watching the play. That guy's watching the play. And then Heck stops blocking him. Just takes his hand off, and this guy goes, hey, I'm going to stop the play. And he goes in, and he's the one that stops the play. Because you can see, here's White. White's trying to get through. There's that little gap, and this guy goes, no, I'm going to do it. Heck just stood there and watched it happen. He just gave up on his block while he was watching the play. That's something that aggravates the mess out of me with linemen. Donovan Smith used to do that all the time. Oh, I can't stand it. Watching the action. Yeah, he's just sitting here watching. He's like, oh, where's the ball carrier at? Oh, there he is. There he is. Let's watch him. But again, it's, they're just trying to muscle their way through. The running backs are. They're not. And they're not even hitting it hard, too. They're actually hesitating back there, sidestepping a lot. It was not. It wasn't good running. It wasn't good. Miller totally blocks or totally whiffs on his block here. I think it's on 37. Just completely whiffs. Whoop. He ends up way back here all by himself. His guy goes up, helps with the pile. So again, it's not that we're getting whooped here. We're doing silly stuff like sliding, picking the wrong holes, watching the play happen, releasing our blocks, whiffing on blocks. It's just like, okay, so here's 4 out of 5. Now, on this one, Otten is beat on his block, and his guy is the one that makes the stop. Barton is tossed by 93. 93 is pissed at Barton for that pancake. But White did have an open hole to the left, but to the left of the block. But instead, again, just tucks it and tries to run over people. And White does that too much. I've always complained about that with him. He's not a bruiser, but he wants to be a bruiser. So Otten comes, and you can see Barton getting tossed right there. He's actually on his head. And then Otten just totally, he doesn't do anything with that block. It kind of falls down. And you can see White has got his head down and he's just trying to barrel through. But if he would have gone to the left, you'll see it from the end zone angle here. There's plenty of space on the left. See right here? Look, here's Barton on the ground, or Otten. Look at all that space over here. And instead, White tries to just go straight ahead. I mean, he's like going to try and run over top of Otten. And this guy knocks him over to the left. If he would have just, stepped over to the left a little bit, or at least angled towards the left, I think he would have had a touchdown. All right, so here we go. 5 of 5. And again, Barton gets beat by 93 again, right here. I'm telling you, 93 was pissed about that pancake. But speaking of pancakes, Breedison gets one right away, right here. This is a nice one too. This is the kind of pancake you want. Right on the line, boom. Now, I would have really liked to have seen Tucker jump here. Beep. but we just don't do that in the NFL anymore, I guess. Um, and again, he just runs. See how they're just running straight into people. Bam. Not a fan of it. I get it, but I'm not a fan of it. You know, especially when you're not getting any push. I mean, who is that he runs into? Right here. All right. You're supposed to be going forward. That's Otten. Yeah, you're going backwards, buddy. Boom. Don't run into the guy going backwards. So there we go. That was 4th down. It was just a horrible combination of slipping, getting beat, missing blocks, not really trying to find holes, just running straight ahead. But after you do a little shuffle in the back, I don't know. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But the good part of it was mainly our mistakes. It wasn't that they just totally dominated us. Although 93 got pissed at Barton, man. He's like, oh, you going to pancake me? You going to pancake me? All right. I'm just going to whoop your butt from here on out. All right, here we go. Next offensive series. Sean Tucker here. He should have kept running on this one behind 77. 77 is his lead blocker here. Yeah, Barton had a rough time on those. Now the first one he did great. After that, he got destroyed. Okay, now this is designed to go boop, right up the middle, right? And you can see there's a guy coming, and that scares Sean Tucker. So he tries to bounce it to the outside. Big mistake. Big mistake. But for one, Tucker really shouldn't run lateral. He's just not a lateral guy. But also, he just didn't have no faith. Heck does a really good job of picking this guy up. Boop. Look at that. There's that hole. Right there. If he would have kept running right where he was supposed to, boop. I mean, Heck knocks this guy way off. What's up, Corey? Mr. Lowe. Related to Rob Lowe. So again, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of this stuff where we're failing is just mistakes we're making. You know, it's not so much that they're whooping us. You know, I mean, there has been some of that going on too, but it's really, we're just not playing smart. This is a tough one. Mayfield gets pressured on this one. And unfortunately, he has to throw it here, but look what he had downfield. Who knows where that one could have gone? And it was a nice little play. Kind of upset me that he had to go get pressured. But it's kind of the same thing we saw with the Saints offense. It's like, why, you know, we do the play action here, and then we kind of boot a little bit to the right. And this guy just, you know, he doesn't fall for it, so he comes right at you. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the blocking scheme here was at all. It doesn't really make any sense to me. And I don't know if it's a busted play, to be honest with you. But if this blocking scheme is what I think it is, it sucked. Because Barton has an impossible block here. And it's a shame, too, because this was a really good play. I really like the design of it, except for the blocking up front. The play action worked perfect. These linebackers just all get completely fooled, which is the reason why Egbuke and Tej Johnson are completely wide open back there. And look, these guys all come up. They all come up. But Barton has to, okay, Feeney pulls, right? So Barton has got to get out, and I'm not sure what he's supposed to do here. Let's say this is, you know, he boots out right here. So that means Barton's got to get out and get in front of him right here. And that's a really hard block. And unfortunately, I wish he could have seen this. Or even Tez. Tez was wide open over here. But he had to get rid of it because dude was coming. I really liked the play. I just didn't like this blocking scheme. And it was just right here. I'm just not exactly sure what Barton was supposed to do there. I don't see anything he could have done that would have made this okay. There's no way for him to get out. I mean, that's like a 4-yard reach block, man. Dang near impossible. So we had quite a bit of that in this game, just where you're like head scratchers. Blocking schemes, I'm just like, something's not right there. Here it is. I froze it on this one. You can see Egbuke is wide open on this out, but unfortunately, Baker was being pressured. So he has to run. And by the time he gets out and free where he could plant and throw, then this guy's coming down. So let's look at it from the end zone angle and see how Baker got pressured. What was the problem here? Barton was the problem. Barton misses a stunt here. Now, I honestly think that 93 is holding Barton. This is what you do on stunts on defensive linemen. But I can't see it. But you can see Barton is looking for the stunt. But he just can't get out there. I think he's being held. And it looks like it because you can see the way his arm is extended right here. I think he was holding Barton and pulling him, not letting him get out to get this block. So that's where the pressure came from. It's a shame, too, because Egbuke was wide open for that out. But by the time he got... Did that ball get tipped there? No. Dropped pass. But by the time he got out to throw the ball, Egbuke was being covered. So that was the end of that series. Now we're starting to look sloppy. First couple series we looked okay until we hit that the goal line, and then it just all went to poop. And then this series we look like crap. And then on this play, guess what? Zone blocking. Boop, mid zone. And it works pretty good. And I was thinking that while I was watching it, I was like, I think Rachaad White is so much better with zone blocking. He runs better. He can see the holes. When he runs gap, he just kind of tucks his head and runs forward. All right, this is a 2nd and 4. Second quarter, 1:03 left. And I'm not sure that this is a busted play. The only one running a route here for a pass is Egbuke. Now, there's other guys running routes, but they're not looking for the ball at all. They're actually looking like they're either a decoy or they're in blocking stance. And Mayfield looks over at Egbuke, but he's covered. So I think this was a busted play. Because okay, let's watch this guy. Well, watch Cameron Johnson first. Okay, he never turns around. He's looking at this guy. He's going to block. He never turns around. Okay? I mean, he wasn't even running a decoy route. 17, he runs a decoy. He just runs straight down. He never turns around either. Look, he's just drawing his guy out. Right? Now, Egbuke runs quick out, and you can see Baker is locked in on him, but he's covered all day. It's a good thing Baker didn't throw it, right? And then the other guy who goes out is Cade Otton, and he's 100% blocking. I mean, he never. I mean, look at that. Look. He's not looking for a pass. I mean, this was very weird. So we've got 4 receivers out. Only one of them is running a route. The other 3, 2 of them are blocking, and one's a decoy. I think it was a busted play. And I think that Mayfield was just kind of gobsmacked. I mean, he stares at Egbuke, and as soon as he realizes, what's up, Gulliver? Steven, what's going on, brother? If the offense, Rampage. Barton should have passed the guy off, true, but they didn't work in concert very well in this game. So I'm saying everybody was just kind of off. And it gets worse as the game goes on. And to me, it just seems like they're just tired. You know, they're kind of like mentally exhausted too. What are we looking at here? Oh, yeah, Barton gets beat here by, guess who? 93. I'll tell you what, Barton should not have pancaked him because he just takes it out on Barton for the rest of the game. And he gets the sack. To me, it looks like he was expecting help from Freeney here, who Freeney should have helped him. But for some reason, Freeney went over to help 77. It didn't make any sense. Freeney should have, and again, this goes back to what we were just talking about. They're not working together very well. Freeney, what Freeney should have done here, just stuck a hand out, right? Because what he wants to do is make sure this guy's not coming inside here. That's all he's wanting to do. But unfortunately, he takes one step over and pushes the guy. Now, to me, the way Barton stands and plants himself, he's expecting help from 65 here. And too late, he realizes, crap, 65. And you can see 65 whips his head around like he knows he's supposed to be helping. And he was going to, but he wanted to just give this guy a shove real quick. But 93 was just too fast for him. But it does look to me like Barton was expecting help and just Freeney was not there for him. So again, it's just, we're making stupid mistakes, just mental errors, which is good. It's good that we weren't like just getting beat up, Here's a 3rd and 12. Otten is wide open on this play, but I get why Mayfield doesn't throw it to him. He wants to hit Shepard over the middle, which is the right throw, and it would have been pretty. Great anticipation. Shepard ends up cutting here, and beautiful. It would have been, he slips a little bit right there, but you can see Baker is winding up to throw it right there, and that would have been a nice throw, man. Boom. That would have been a first down. But I say this is a 3rd and 12. So yeah, good play call. And it was going to be a first down if everybody would have executed it well. Otten was open over here, but he would have had to avoid stuff. But I think Baker did the right thing. Unfortunately, it gets stripped by Chase Young because Tristan Wirfs just can't keep his feet under him. Wirfs get beat by Young, but Bredesen is beat. This is a pretty neat little trick that the dude, I don't know who this is right here. This guy pulls a neat little trick on Bredesen and gets in. Nice little play by the Saints, though. You think Barton wants to play tackle? He might. I mean, there's a lot more money in tackle. Oh, my goodness. Ooh. Thought I had a sneeze. That was a weird one. Okay, let's look at Wirfs get beat over here. Just gets beat to the outside and right here, right there. Now I'm going to point this out every time he does this. And y'all have heard me say it about him this year and a little bit last year that his technique is starting to get bad. But look how he crosses his legs here. Right there. He's got this foot is crossing this foot. That's when you lose it. You can't do that. Especially as a tackle. You can't do that. And that's when he loses. He loses and then just gets pushed straight. I mean, Chase has all the control then because Wirfs gets off balance. You know, Wirfs has a horrible platform here. Look at that. Just crosses his legs. Don't know why he's doing that. Anyhow, I'm going to point it out a few times here. But anyhow, look at this guy. This is great. This guy looks like he's going to just kind of, so he stands still. So Bredeson goes, well, I wonder if Wirfs needs help. And then this guy, as soon as Bredeson turns around, this guy comes in. And Bredeson has no idea what's going on. He just runs right by him. Look at Barton taking out. Who is that he's taking out? Is that 93? I don't think so. With a little help from Freeney. This guy does the same thing too, where he acts like he's not going to rush. And then as soon as they turn away, they both come in. Boop. So anyhow, Young is able to get around, strip the ball, it's a fumble. It's a shame too, because that was going to be a first down. And that was just really bad technique on Wirfs' part, but also a nice little trickiness on the Saints defense. So as you can see, we're getting deeper in the game. We are in the second half now. And our play is just getting worse and worse and worse. This is nice. Look, we're in a pistol. We're trying to be like the Falcons. I really, 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 really like this play. But again, this is about as tricky, complex as we get in this game. But this is a nice play. I really like it. So swing pass, boom. We copied the Detroit Lions from last week. And you can see Otten is blocking. Now, when I first watched this, I was like, why in the world? Who is this? I think that's Egbuke. No, that's not Egbuke. Who is that? Oh, that's Ryan Miller. I was like, why in the world did he not block this guy? I was so pissed. I was like, Ryan Miller, you suck, right? No, he goes and he targets this guy, right? Leaves this guy totally wide open. I was like, why would he do that? Big dummy. I was so mad, right? And then I was like, oh, he's going to get slaughtered here. But look what happens. And this is a great play design. This was designed this way. Boom. He catches the ball and stops. These guys, the front line, they run out here like it's a screen. This is great. And this is a train. Look at this. It is a wall. And this was designed this way for White to catch the ball, put on the brakes, run behind this block here, and then get up with these guys and get in between them. This is a beautiful play too. Like he's got patience. He stays behind them, gets right with them, and then boop. That was a nice play. It's kind of like a combination screen swing. I really liked it. I was all excited. I was mad at first. I was mad at Ryan Miller. And then I saw these boys coming out. I was like, oh, what are they doing? Look at that. Now, if White would have stayed in between these guys, I wonder how much yardage he would have picked up. But I liked what he did there. Very happy with that play. That's funny. I'm sitting here yelling at the screen at Ryan Miller. All right, this was a bad decision on Baker Mayfield's part. Tej Johnson is wide open. Right here. Boom. Okay, Baker's looking over here. He's looking at this. He's thinking, I might throw it there. But then he decides against it. And then he sees Tez here, and he goes, I'm not going to throw it because this guy's in the way. So then he feels a little bit of pressure, so he runs out. And then he goes, I remember Tej Johnson was open. I think I'm going to throw it to him. Now it's a hospital ball. You got this guy coming. Boom. Like, man, you should have thrown this a lot sooner, a long time ago, right here. But unfortunately, he was looking over there. And then still, you could have thrown it right there. Right there. Throw it there. Throw it there. But he waits until this guy starts coming down and he throws a hospital ball to Tez. Poor Tez. What's he weigh? 110 pounds? Having to put up with a mess like that? All right. So Wirfs gets beat by 94 here. And again, I'm going to show you. You can see it right here. Crossing his feet, and this is where he loses the battle. 94. As soon as Wirfs crosses his feet, boom, 94 hits him, throws him off balance, and he can't ever gather his leverage again, and ends up taking him down. Poof. I don't know what's going on with Wirfs, man. Just bad technique. I mean, you can see it. This is bad enough, it was like heel clicking here. But then, right there, he crosses his feet. Dude, you can't do that. And immediately, 94 sees that crap and shoulders him. Wham! Takes him off balance. I don't know what's going on with Wirfs, man. I mean, he doesn't seem like he's playing injured. Ben Bredesen, he gets beat by 93. But White, who is a great pass protecting running back, he picks him up. I mean, if Bredesen gets beat immediately. And then boom, White saves the day. Okay. This one. Now, we ended up running like 2 fades here. So the first one was to Shepard, I think. And it was just a bad decision. Baker Mayfield should not have thrown it. It was almost an interception. And then we run another fade here. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Look at that. That's almost an interception too. Bad decision, but there's nothing. I mean, this was the plan. This was the play. I 100% hate this play call. Absolutely garbage play call. It's bad design, bad play call. But there's nothing else to do except run, which would have been better. I mean, this was almost an interception. But look at this. This is why this is such a crap play call. We do play action here, right? Why would you do play action? Right? You do play action to bring these guys forward, right? Or, make these guys hesitate, right? And it works. Right there. They all come forward. I mean, this play action works, even though it's a crappy play action, it works. He hesitates, they come forward, they hesitate. 100%, this should have been a slant. Get behind, look at all this space you got over here. It makes no sense to run play action if you're just going to throw a fade. You don't need to run play action. And if you would have run a slant here, that would have been a touchdown all day long. And we did it twice. We did it twice. The play before this, I'm pretty sure it was Shepard. Let me see. Oh, no, we tried to run it. Maybe it's the play after. I think we get it in. Eventually, Sean Tucker runs this one, yeah. I don't know. There was a couple plays before. Let me see. Yeah, oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, we throw a, I think this is a corner on this one. And just immediately, there's no looking anywhere else. It's just, you know, and these two, Shepard and Igbuke, are not 50-50 ball guys. I don't understand what they're doing here. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, this one, Wirfs beat right away by 99. So it wasn't just Chase Young. Or no, wait, that is Chase Young. And this is so weird. This is so weird because Young does absolutely nothing here. And Wirfs beats himself. This is so strange. Watch. Look. What is this? I mean, Young actually just kind of backs up a little bit right there. And Wirfs just falls down. I don't know what he was going for here. You know, maybe he's trying to push. That's what it looks like to me, like he's trying to slap Young that away. And then at the last second, he realizes he's not going to be able to. So then he tries to push him. But then he just falls. I mean, it's because this was a timed play, real quick. Boom. I think it was an out. So Wirfs knew all he had to do was, you know, get Young out of the way for a brief second. And he couldn't even do that. Very strange. Very strange. Something's up with Wirfs, man. All right. Here's Kate Otten. Kate Otten being Superman here. He's the only one open. They throw it to him. Boom. You got three guys converging on him. Hospital ball, right? They're going to triangulate. And then Kate turns around and just shoulders him and bounces off. It keeps going. Like, woo! Then he shoulders that dude. Loving it, man. Then he gets up. He's got some energy. Right? But you don't really see anybody else with energy. We didn't play with a lot of energy. This is funny. Breedison gets a pancake here, but he also gets a holding penalty. He puts his hands up right here like he's, I'm not holding. He already did the holding, took his guy down right there. I don't know if he was holding or not, or if this guy just slipped. I can't tell. And this guy definitely slips. But Breedison puts his hands up and then goes, while I'm up here, I might as well just pancake him. That's a crotch pancake, too. And Breedison gets flagged for that one. Just found that one interesting. Okay, here we go. Wirfs beat by 99 again. Just beat to the outside. This is just pure speed. He ends up getting a piece of Mayfield here and causing an errant throw. And again, right, you see now Wirfs is having to turn around and chase him. He's like, what? And right there, he grabs hold of Mayfield and spins him a little bit as Mayfield's throwing it. And it makes this pass errant. I think this was a bouquet out here. Yeah. That was way too high for him. Now this one, this is the kind of crap that just this whole game I just saw. Egbuka's wide open, blazing down the field, right? Baker Mayfield throws it. Now it looks like it's underthrown, right? But it's not. It's actually a perfect pass by Baker. This was a mistake by Egbuka. I was like, what? Let's go back and look at this. You can see right here, watch Egbuka. He slows down right at the end. Look, he's blazing, he's blazing, he's blazing. Right there. You see him slow down? Right. Well, he slows down and then he has to jump for the ball because he slowed down. If he would have kept going and not even turned around, but just let it fall over his shoulder, this was a perfect pass. Unfortunately, you can't really see the slowdown here, but you can see he turns around, right? And then he has to jump for the ball. So if he would have kept going and just let it fall over his shoulder, this would have landed right in his arms. And this guy wouldn't have been able to get a hand on it. Because this guy didn't get a hand on it until he started to bring it down. And then right there, he pops it out. I was like, oh my gosh. I thought that Mayfield had underthrown him when I watched the broadcast. Because we saw that last week where he underthrew Egbuka. But right here, Egbuka slowed down as the ball was in the air and then had to jump at the end to make up for that slowing down. I was like, oh, man. Perfect pass by Baker, too. That would have been so pretty if it would have just dropped right into him like an old Randy Moss. Remember how Randy Moss used to do that all the time? He'd be going down the field 80 miles an hour and watch the ball, and it would just come right over his shoulder, and he'd grab it as he was running 80 miles an hour. It was so pretty. 3rd and 10. We are deep in the game. This is the 4th quarter. 3rd and 10. Nice pass. We got players all over the place. Look at this. Tez Johnson right in his hands. Boom. Right off his hands. Beautiful pass by Baker. As I was saying, Baker had a pretty good game. He had the one errant throw at the beginning of the game to Egbuka where he threw it behind him. But that was right in Tez's hands. Annoying. That was on a 3rd and 10, too. Okay. This one is just poor timing. Barton or Otten is a little bit late pulling. I don't know what happens here. I think 77 kind of bumps into him right there. They bump into each other. But it causes Otten to be slow. And look, the ball carrier is now in front of him. He's like, oh, crap. And they almost run into each other. But Barton is supposed to be over here blocking this guy. And that guy's the one who ends up making the tackle. I mean, Otten is supposed to be blocking Young, but he can't get over there. He almost runs into the runner right there. But Barton is beat by 56. Where's 56? Right here. Barton just can't get a good enough piece on him. So those two messed up and their guys made the tackle. But you see, it's not that they were whooping us. We were just making mistakes, like running into each other, which is good, which is what you want. You want it to be your fault. Barton gets beat again on this one. right here. You can see it, so we'll rewind it. This one aggravated me, and I don't know what our running backs coach is teaching these guys. Remember we had this issue a few years ago where I used to get so mad that our runners were running right at guys instead of trying to avoid tackles, avoid contact. The same thing happens here. You know, Barton comes out, he misses the block. You got this guy right here. So 18 just says, screw it. I'm just going to run right at you. Puts his head down, tries to go at him. But look at all this space. I mean, for one, look at this hole. It's huge. And then you got all this space, man. So many different ways you could go. And which way do you go? You go right at the only guy that's not being blocked. Very annoying. Yeah, Barton whiffed on that second level block there. Okay, here we go. Barton gets pushed back by 95 on this play. Bredesen beats, and his guy ends up making the tackle. And now, right here at this point of the game, we just look just exhausted. And you could see Bridgewater's in. So we are not, we're just trying to really just get this game over with at this point, it seems like. So Barton gets pushed back by 95. Just straight pushback right into Williams. You know, by the time he gets the ball, Barton's right in his lap. You know, so Barton was getting beat by a whole menagerie of guys. He's struggling. I don't know if he's hurt, if he's just tired or whatever, or is it sophomore slump. Worse, just bad technique. And, you know, I'm not trying to take anything away from Chase Young. He did a good job. But I would say it was mainly worse, just bad technique. And Barton really just lost it after the second series. Really after the 5 goal line stand runs, Barton he was done. He was done. He was getting whooped by everybody and anybody. But we just made a lot of boneheaded decisions, bad blocking schemes, some not very good play designs, questionable play designs. Like, why would you run a corner fade twice with receivers that are not 50-50 jump ball guys, but also do a play action to bring... It doesn't make any sense to me to bring the defense up and you've got the whole end zone, the absolute whole end zone to play with. And you decide you're only going to have one receiver out there and you're going to throw it to him while he's draped by another guy. It should have been a slant. If it would have been a slant, it would have been a touchdown all day. It was a weird play call, but it's just stuff like that, you know. But I do feel like it's 100% correctable. There's nothing I saw that I was like, oof, we got issues. You know, Barton, I'm not worried about. I think there's just, I don't know, something's gotten into his head or something. I don't know. Worse, I'm not worried about him at all. Honestly, I think these guys are just tired. I think they were just tired. You know, they played a tough game on Monday Night Football, traveling to Michigan, and then they had to turn right around and travel to New Orleans, you know, 5 days later. And, you know, it was a tough game. That Detroit game was tough. And I think they were just tired. I think they were just tired. And they were like, our defense has got this, so let's just go home without any injuries. So I was very thankful that I didn't see anything scary, you know. Barton needs to put on some big boy weight. Yeah. Hey, Kate, what's up? Yep, you missed everything. You missed everything. What you missed mainly was seeing Graham Barton get whooped by, I think, every defensive player on the field at one point or another. He just had a really bad game. And Wirfs got whooped. But there was nothing there. Our offense didn't play great. They didn't play horrible. They were so-so. They were enough. They did enough. But we were very very vanilla offense, man. It's 2 weeks in a row we've done it. And I think we did it on purpose. I think it's because we've got some stuff in store because we were pulling some good stuff out at the beginning of the year. And we haven't done any of that. Any of it. I did like some of the play calling here, but we didn't do any, no tricky stuff, no razzle dazzle. I really did like that swing pass screen, whatever you want to call it. That was sweet. But nothing to worry about. I did not see Mayfield. Mayfield had a great game, I thought. He really did. I thought he played very well. His throwing motion looked good. He was planting his feet even when he was under pressure. I like that. He didn't get frazzled. He didn't really scramble at all. He did a few boots. There was a couple of times where he could have scrambled and he didn't. I think we're playing very conservative because we want to save ourselves for the second half of the season. That's the feeling I'm getting anyhow. But yeah, we were so tired at the end of this game that the second half, you could just tell we were just like, bleh. Very bleh. And our defense was playing so good. That was the best defensive performance I think I've ever seen the Buccaneers play. Like I said, there was only 3 mistakes by our defense, and 2 of them were Servassier Dennis. A few bad play calls, but it was a very well-rounded defensive performance. And I think the offense was like, yeah, the defense has got it. So let's just try not to get hurt, not do anything crazy. We're doing really good with not having a bunch of turnovers. I think we're like 4th in the league for turnovers. We got a lot of turnovers, and we're not giving up. But our turnover margin is pretty good. We're in the positive. Let's put it that way. What's up, Nathan? MH, what's up, man? Yeah. I think the bye week is going to be great for us. Now, I'm worried about the Patriots. Where's that at? Is that at New England? No, that's at home. Okay, so it'll be a lot better for us at home. There's probably going to be a bunch of Patriots fans there, though, isn't it? They travel pretty well, right? Did y'all see the Green Bay Steelers game? I have never seen that in a Steelers stadium where it was so loud when they had the ball because there were so many Packers fans there. It was so loud that they had to do silent counts. The Steelers offense had to go to silent count because it was so loud because so many Packers fans were there. I have never seen that at a Steelers stadium. I mean, they're usually like, it's Steelers territory. And they usually travel well too, right? Packers fans, though, I think they wanted to. It's probably the only time they would see Aaron Rodgers play against them. So I think there's a lot of Packer fans went all out for that game. That was crazy, though. But yeah, the Patriots, kind of worried about them. I'm going to try to watch some game film on them, try to see what it is they're doing. I was kind of surprised that the Saints didn't do the blueprint that the Detroit laid out for how to slow us down. Although they didn't really need to. We did it ourselves. But the Patriots are bothering me. The Bills, that's going to be a tough one going to the Bills. If we lose that game, I won't be surprised. Going to Los Angeles and the Rams, I just want to beat the Rams. I don't like the Rams. I do like them, but I don't like that we have this thing with them. We've had it for 30 years, kind of a rivalry. We're always good at about the same time. But then after that, it's a cakewalk. After that, it's a cakewalk. So we got three teams that we could lose to coming off the bye week. And I think Todd Bowles knows that, and it's why we're not showing our cards. You know, because I think we're going to try to, if we can get away with, I'll be happy with one win out of those three. If we can get two, I'll be thrilled to death. The ones I really want is the Rams. I really want to, because it's an NFC game. Other two, I'm not really that concerned about. But I'd like to see us beat the Rams. I appreciate it, Nathan. I enjoyed doing it, man. Yeah, I'm sorry you missed it too, Kate. There's some interesting stuff in here. Miller was the highest graded special teams player. There's no way. Tom, there's no way. I didn't watch special teams in this game yet. You're right, Nathan. I have never liked PFF grades ever. It's a gimmick, I think. But Miller is horrible at special teams. He has been all year. Maybe this week he was great. I don't know. Oh my gosh, those Winfield, those Molly kept saying, Winfield is doing everything he can to get a touchdown in this game. I think I counted 4 times that he grabbed the ball and ran into the end zone. 2 of them, he should have had touchdowns. The other 2, he was just goofing off. But yeah, he got robbed for both of those. The one was definitely pure highway robbery. Everybody agrees with it. There's nobody except for ref and ref apologists, about the whole phantom whistle thing. But then the other one where he stripped the interception away from that guy and they ruled him down by contact, that was BS too, because he didn't have possession until after he rolled over and stood up because the ball was still loose. Remember, it was pinned to the side of his leg. So you can't be down by contact if you don't have control of the ball. So he didn't get control of the ball until he got up, and then he got robbed on that one too. Very annoying. The refs have done absolutely crap work this year. Dean, I've got a love-hate relationship with Dean. I carried water for Dean ever since he came in the league. I think that I thought he was going to be really, really, really good. Like a shutdown corner type guy. And he kind of plateaued, and then he started really annoying me with being hurt every year, all the time. And he would leave games when we really needed him. And I'm not a big fan of that. But this year, man, he's balling out. After we basically have decided that we're going to replace him, now he's balling out, contract year. Our O-line coach was fired by Sean McVay after one season. Wow. Sean McVay has the biggest coaching tree in the league, I think, right now. Drake May has it. What was that? Drake May has a tendency to get sacked a lot. Most in the league. Is that because he holds the ball too long, or is the offensive line weak? Yeah, blitzing it is. Let's do it. What's up, Zebra? Bucs fans showed up. Yeah, I was pointing that out on the. You wouldn't happen to be at the game in a Jamel Dean jersey, would you? Because I got this shot right here. This guy is rocking the Jamel Dean jersey. The Jamel Dean jersey. I love it. There's a Mayfield guy sitting right behind him, too. A lot of Bucks fans there, though, huh? Sweet. Sweet. I'd like to see us fill the stadium up with in this Patriots game, man. I don't want there to be a bunch of Patriots fans there. Yeah, how was our kicker not away? He kicked 3 50-plus yard field goals. Man, PFF is dumb. I'm going to have to watch special teams now to see what Miller did because he has played absolutely garbage this year. Yeah, if our O-line plays like this, Rampage, we definitely losing to the Bills and Rams, especially the Rams. Rams are racking up sacks this year. Man, Zebra, I bet this was a great game to go see. Jelly. That's a good point, Rampage. But Light just he never does any midseason trades really, deadline trading stuff. Don't know. I mean, we're banged up in a lot of spots. Maybe he will this year. But yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah. Dean's value right now. But then again, teams know that we're getting rid of him at the end of the year. Yeah, Nathan, that's why I've never seen anybody in a Jamel Dean jersey. And this guy was at the game in a Jamel Dean jersey. I was like, yeah, you rock it, man. I'm torn about that, Nathan. I like when when he plays well, he plays very well. But the soft zone coverage he's done the past few years, and he's gotten yelled at for it a few times. He's just given up a lot of underneath stuff. But my biggest issue with him has been he's just getting hurt all the time. If he can stay healthy, that'd be awesome. Yeah, Patriots are playing at Raymond James. So we got to fill that stadium up. Don't let them get any tickets. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch some game film, Tom, see what the Patriots got. I've watched, I think, let me see, I watched the game they played against, I think it was the Bills. And then I've seen them on and off. So I think I've watched one full game of them, but I need to watch some film breakdown. We paid Dean quite a bit, and he's going to be asking for quite a bit. Dean took the last 3 years off. This is his career year. Hey, he's going to get a payday. If he keeps it up like this, he's definitely getting a huge payday. But we paid him. We gave him a good contract. He was getting $13 million. What was the contract? It was, yeah. So his average salary is $13 million a year. It's not bad. 4 years, $52 million with 21 and a half guaranteed. That was paid to him at signing. So then we voided it. Gosh, what do we do here? He took a big pay cut. I can't remember what we did. So that he could be a free agent next year. I can't remember what we did. I think we gave him a decrease in salary. I think we gave him some more cash. He was cool with it. Apparently he's ready to get out too. I don't know. Yeah, Molly was here like 15 minutes before everybody else got here. We were sitting here flirting in chat. Zebra, don't tease me like that. Max Crosby on the team? That'd be awesome. I'd be so excited. I like watching him play. Incomplete pass to Tez. That was a surefire touchdown. Was it the one where it bounced off his hands? Do you remember about when in the game it happened? Oh, and by the way, they've announced Rattler is benched, and they're going with Shuck, Shogu, Show, however you want to pronounce his name. Let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Fourth quarter. And I think it's that one that I said was the 3rd and 10, and he dropped it. It was right in his hands. Was it this one? Taz is down at the bottom of the screen. Right here. I know that. I hope we get him. Right here. Boom. It's right in his hands, too. I don't know why he jumps up like that. It might be a little high. That's the only one I could think of. Yeah, we do have way too many frequently injured players, Rampage. 100%. It's actually quite annoying. We've got 11 on injured reserved right now. That's a full team. That's a full offense or defense. When is Gedeke coming back? We've got so many players that I don't understand their status, or I mean, like Bucky Irvin. What is going on with him? I mean, I remember he got his ankle rolled up during game, but he played all the way through it. And then it was like surprised everybody when he was in a boot after the game. And then they just announced like, yeah, he's not going to play next week. So you're thinking, okay, they're just going to rest and everything. They never really said what the issue was. It's like knee, ankle, or some crap like that. And it's been like a month, and they're not giving us any information. Same thing with Jalen McMillan. Remember, he fell, bumped his head, landed on his head in the preseason. What's his deal? I don't know. Godwin, he came back. He was played what, 2 games? And then just out of nowhere, he's like, yeah, my ankle still hurts. So he's out. Luke Gedeke, Cody Mock, we know he's out for the season. But there's just so many players we have that you're just like, I don't know the status. I don't even understand what's wrong with them. Or when are they coming back? Jaden Smith, is he going to come back? David Walker, he's out for the season, right? J.J. Roberts, Jason Jones, Jalen McMillan. I mean, what's his status? I don't even understand. Luke Gedeke, he's another one. I don't know what's going on with him. Bucky Irvin. I don't know. What's going on with Bucky Irvin? I mean, every week. I mean, Christian Izzian played a couple special team snaps in this game, but he never played the defense. I'm like, what? This team is just so weird sometimes. Yeah, we got. Yeah, Bucky Irvin is still listed. Luke Haggard. I don't know. Bucky Irvin is still listed as the starting running back, but every week they're like, yeah, he's out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these people. Yeah, start Nelson. Yeah, I think we've seen enough of everybody else. Nelson's the one making plays, but I mean, Nelson's been here for quite a long time, and he's had the opportunity to start quite a few times and never really does much with it. So hopefully this will be the start of something special with him. Yes, Tom. Tom has been screaming start Nelson forever. Oh, Nathan. Huh? Gedeke could go where they like turbans. Is it because he wears that big old thing on his head? It's a big pillow on his helmet. It was hard to tell, Tom, about Shoke. Yeah. It's Shough, and they pronounce it Shoke, something like that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Y'all know how I am with names. I'm just going to make up my own pronunciation. Yeah, I think he played okay, but it was hard to tell, because his offensive line is such crap. The pass towards Baker's left. Yeah, Nelson definitely did enough to take Reddick's job. Reddick hasn't done anything this year. He lives with a genie. That's what they said, Zebra. Todd Bowles was asked about Parrish, and he said he's fine. Said he was just had like a stinger in his oblique, but he's fine, which is good. He had a great game. I would rank it Anthony Nelson, and then Jacob Parrish was right behind Anthony Nelson. Parrish did a lot of good stuff, and then right behind him would be Winfield. So it's like, I mean, you can make a case that it was one A, one B, and one C, or 1, 2A, 2B, something like that. It's very close. A lot of guys had good games here on the defense. Godwin has a bruise that keeps him out for 15 weeks. Yeah, what's the deal with him? Why do we have so many players that we don't know what's going on with them? He was limping last week in practice. I can't wait for Bucky to come back. I mean, I love Rachaad White. I really like him as a person. I like him. I think he's a great teammate. He's a great pass protector. He's got great hands, but as a running back, he is just not it, man. Bucky Irvin is such a good running back. He's exciting. He's what you want in a running back, man. I'd like to see Bucky Irvin and Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker is the battering ram, and Bucky Irvin is the flight-footed, Catch me if you can. Every time he gets the ball, you're just like on the edge of your seat. You're like, is this going to be it? Plus, I need him to come back from my fantasy football team that has gotten decimated. I've got on both of my teams. How's everybody else doing in fantasy football? Like my team just completely gets injured every week. Like this week, my number one player has been Cam Skatibo, Scatboo, and he got hurt last week. And I had him in both my leagues. I'm like, are you serious? This has been going on all year. All year. I think 6 of the people I drafted in the Buccaneers Observer Fantasy Football League are out for the season, or at least on injured reserve. Man. Well, you know, it's got something to be said about loyalty, though, Rampage. I like it. I like. I don't want a team that's like cold-hearted. It's all about winning the number, you know, stuff like that. Because we did that with our Super Bowl team. You know, we did it with Rich McKay and John Gruden. They hacked it up. We lost Sapp. We lost Lynch. We just let Derek Brooks unceremoniously retire. We just didn't re-sign it. It was so sad. It was so sad to see all those players just kind of treated like garbage, I thought. You know, and then some of them went to play good teams. But I don't want to hang on to guys just because we're attached to them at the same time, you know. So defenses are offenses. Wasn't this game, for sure. Defense could be 100% healthy, except for 94. It's a shame with him, you know. See, he's another one. I carried water for him, and now I'm just like, dude's hurt all the time. Same thing with Dean. Yeah, we'll see, Tom. You know, if Nelson does get the start and he starts, you know, pulling 80% of the snaps or 60% of the snaps for multiple games in a row, we'll see how he does. Yeah, he had great stats, man. He was playing great. He was playing great football. Oh, Major Nelson. Yeah. I used to love I Dream of Jeannie, man. Yeah, this was a great game for the defense. Like I said, it was the best defensive performance, you know, just complete the defensive performance where there just wasn't any mistakes. There was, I think, 3 mistakes, and 2 of them were by Servassier Dennis. But I mean, that's just unheard of to play that good for a whole game. Yeah, I'd like to see Sean Tucker get more opportunities too. It's hard though, because White is such a well-rounded football player, except for running the ball. You know, he is so good at pass protection and so good at catching the ball. But like as a running back, Bucky's gotten a lot better at pass protection. But see, Rampage, I get attached to these guys. You know, it's like I was saying, Cam Katibo, when he got hurt, it like depressed me all day long. Remember when Godwin got hurt last year? I was like depressed for like 2 weeks. You know, just because I feel like they're my friends. That's how much of a football nerd I am. I'm like, these are my friends. You know, I do. I get attached to the players. And I hate to see them go to other teams, man. You know, it's like when Jameis Winston went to the Saints, I was so angry at him. I felt betrayed. It's like, how could you do that? So, When Dave Canales went to the Panthers, same way. When Gerald McCoy went to the Panthers, I was pissed. Like, dude, you will never be in the Ring of Honor. I won't allow it. Makes me angry. Oh, gosh. I hope not, Zebra. I hope we can develop a game plan, but we never do. We never, defensively. I'm trying to think, and I cannot think. I'm sure it's happened, but I can't ever think of where we designed a game plan for a team. Our game plan is we're just going to do different than we did last week. We're going to blitz either more or less, depending on what we did last week. And we're going to run more cover 3 than we do cover 1. And, we just shuffle everything around. What's up, Gulliver? Godwin has got great character, so I hear. Yes, I agree. I think our whole football team does. I think it comes straight from Mike Evans, Godwin, Levante. I think Levante's a pretty good dude. But yeah, Godwin, man. Good people. From what I hear. I don't know him personally. Zebra, I never get upset when that happens, when the offense scores on us right away. I never get upset because it used to happen to us all the time. And our defense would just like that. They'd go, all right, that's all you get. We're spotting you a score. And then they would just tighten up and shut them down. So I've got this thing where when we get scored on quickly, I'm just like, defense is going to shut them down after this. And a lot of times we do. But we used to do that all the time. We'd let the offense score, or not let them score, but they'd score quickly on us. And then that would be about the only thing they got for the rest of the game. Oh, I know. Yes, Corey. I love that. I love that about Baker Mayfield. I tell you what, that dude really has grown on me. When we first got him, I was kind of like, we'll see. But then you heading out, Rampage? But then he put out that Gus Swayze video. Oh my gosh, I like this guy. He is funny, and he just seems down to earth and cool. But then for him to come out and just talk smack, I love it. I've been complaining about this for years, how there's just no character anymore in the NFL. Used to, press conferences were fun as crap to watch because players would talk crap about each other. Coaches would talk crap about the other team. They stopped doing that. It became the family friendly. It's so nice to have somebody, just be like, yeah, I don't like that team. They play dirty. Or, no, I don't like them. They fired me. Yeah, I don't like them. It feels really good beating up on those jerks. I love it. And the way he gets in guys' faces and stuff. I like Baker Mayfield. I love it. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. He said the Saints play dirty. Or what did he say? He didn't say they played dirty. They said they don't play so clean. He's like, yeah, I don't like them. It's so refreshing. It meant more wins for us, Tom. When Jameis went to you just feel betrayed though, man. It's like being cheated on. Ah, yeah, good point, Zebra. Yeah, he don't know nothing about that Tampa weather, right? The humidity. Is it a 1 o'clock game too? Yeah. Yeah, everybody hit that like button, man. We haven't had our like police in here for a while. And when I do glance at the stats, I'm like, oof, ain't nobody hitting that like button. I need to, and I always forget to tell people to do it. Baker starting up a Bucks bandwagon. Yeah, man. A lot of people are like, when people find out I'm a Buccaneers fan, they're all like, man, I really like that Baker Mayfield. You know, people like grit. Everybody does. Everybody likes grit. And Baker's got it from head to toe. Flexing the Patriots game. CBS, 1 o'clock. I know, I'd have to look at the schedule, see who's playing at 4. Yeah, because I mean, it's going to be, we're 2 of the winningest teams in the league. How about the Colts, man? Didn't see that coming at all. Yeah, grit. Man, I know Bruce Arians would love to play with Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker Mayfield is, if Bruce Arians could make a quarterback in the league or in a lab, he'd make Baker Mayfield, but he'd make him about a foot taller because he's everything. If you read the book that Bruce Arians wrote, he talks about quarterbacks quite a bit. That's like his thing, quarterback whisperer. And Baker Mayfield is 100% everything Bruce Arians likes in a quarterback. Yeah, but he hasn't played in the Tampa Heat, huh? Let us have our thing. All right, I got to get off here. Been on way too long. Good grief, it's 9 o'clock. I got to go to bed. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I think there's nothing to worry about with this team. I was concerned about our offense because we just past 2 games, things ain't looking right. But like I said, Detroit game, it makes sense that we were shut down because they did an excellent job game planning against us. And this game, it just seemed like, 1, we were tired. 2, we're trying not to basically we're playing our cards real close to our vest. We're playing very vanilla. The play calling has been very vanilla, very basic. And I know we've got a bunch of razzle dazzle in our pockets. We just don't want it out yet. I think we got these 3 or 4 tough games coming up, and I think we're saving it for that. And we didn't want it on film. So I didn't see anything with our offense that had me concerned. Barton, I'm not too worried about. You know, he's had a rough year, but he's we know he's good. You know, I think he'll bounce back. Same thing with Wirfs. With Wirfs, I don't know. His just technique is just went down the tube. I don't know what's going on. It's a brain thing. But yeah, there's nothing. I didn't see Baker Mayfield didn't look hurt. He might be, but if he did, he's disguising it very well. And other than that, I think we're good to go. So bye week, no games this weekend for the Buccaneers. Let's all root for the NFC South to lose, as we always do. And I will see y'all when I see you. I don't know if I'll be live streaming next week. I might take the week off, enjoy my new baby, but we'll see. Anyhow, hit that like button and hit the notification button because some people are saying they're not getting notifications. And if you want to know when I come on live stream, hit that and then you'll know right away, hopefully, if YouTube will get its stuff together. Anyhow, till next time, go Bucks.